G'day, as we say here in Australia, for all you scholars, graduates, students and lovers of Shakespeare's sonnets, especially those who have supported the idea of William Shakspēr being the author. Prepare to be amazed, for in the coming year I bring to the table undeniable evidence that proves the sources used by the poet are the same sources used by Emilia Bassano-Lanier's Salve Deus Rex Judaeorum, or Hail God, King of the Jews. In fact, Emilia used a multi-layered series of secret codes in Salve that unlocked the true meaning behind the sonnets. What I mean is, both works come from the same source documents. The end of the story contained in the sonnets, after Sonnet 154, is not the conclusion of the sonnets. This is probably one of the greatest crescendos in history. It's actually found in Salve Deus Rex Judaeorum. I will prove that Emilia Bassano-Lanier is the only person who could have penned the sonnets. In my opinion, Roger Pariah and David Lazocki misinterpreted the meaning behind Sonnet 137, as Emilia being one of two candidates of Shakespeare's mistress, the Dark Lady, where they asserted Shakespeare wrote of the mistress, the wide world's commonplace, and the bay where all men ride. Unfortunately, Prior and Lazocki opened the floodgates to scholars, many different scholars, but particularly like Kaufman, who relied on the research to pick her out as a promiscuous woman. He said the promiscuity of Bassano-Lanier's relationships with Baron Hodson, Shakespeare, the Earl of Southampton, and Alfonso Lanier, now with 4 men in 7 years. I will prove that Emilia was not a promiscuous woman, but she was a dark Jewish noblewoman, a scholar, an actress in plays and masks, a dancer, and the first woman writing in English to publish a book of poetry in her own right under the guise of seeking patronage, yet sharing the wisdom of her ancestors. What about Shakespeare, you might ask? Or should I say William Shakspēr, Shakspēr, because that is what he called himself and signed his own name right up until 1 month before he died, signing his name that way even on his will, his last will and testament. It does make one think. The likes of Robert Greene attested to the fact that Shakespeare was nothing more than an upstart crow beautified with our feathers. In other words, a plagiarist, a fraudster, being an absolute Johannes Factotum. I can't stand that word, I can never get it right. In other words, a tinker, a jack of all trades. What Robert Greene was asserting would normally be regarded as defamation if proven untrue. And with Shakespeare's alleged clout and money, surely he would have, with all the legal cases he was involved with, surely he would have sued for defamation. But he didn't. There are legal cases of William Shakspēr being a convicted thief, an extortionist, a tax evader, who was often whipped and imprisoned for his crimes. It does make one think, who was he really? The story of how William Shakspēr became a playwright is perfectly preserved in the play of The Taming of the Shrew. Tells a story of how a drunken tinker was fooled into thinking he was something he was not. waking up in the Lord's bed with the sound of a trumpet. Sirrah! Go see what trumpet 'tis that sounds. With a troop of Bassano family trumpeters in the bedroom. Little did the English people realise, Sirrah, in the Hebrew, refers to the well of Sarah, our matriarch. Now, I won't cover exactly what that means right now. You'll have to wait and see, but it is crucial to the sonnets. I've spent a lifetime studying the sonnets. I began writing on the sonnets 10 years ago, but I was missing 2 crucial documents out of more than 30 source documents. This has been a major undertaking, equivalent to 6 doctorate degree theses, in 3 volumes. No scholar in the world has presented what I have found. Look out for it on bookshelves or maybe an upcoming television series. The title of the books will be called A Comprehensive Commentary of Shakespeare's Sonnets by Peter D. Matthews, with 2 T's. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Keep an eye on my feed and look out for more information coming soon. Thanks very much for listening.